Well, Tom, a battle of attrition today and a goalless draw at the end.
Yeah, probably the most extreme, like with no exaggeration here, like the most extreme game of football I've seen with regards lack of protection for a group of footballers like that. How we've come out of this with no one getting hurt, I don't know. But we have been kicked from pillar to post with some like really poor, really bad bits of work, away from referees, really late, and all the other off the ball stuff. It's just really disappointing. It's like it's supposed to be a really good game for both teams. They've got some really good players, and it was a horrible game of football. I've never seen a game as extreme as that. The Gainsborough Trinity players received no protection at any point. I think if you wanted to, you could have been an official today with your eyes closed and you would have heard the fouls. They were that severe, and stuff's been just like he's had no help from his two pals. So I think the only thing I can say is that I'm delighted on that side of things. I'm delighted we've come out of it with just a slight quad strain. That's it, nothing to do with the stuff that the lads have had to come up against. Really disappointing because I was looking forward to this game for football reasons, and it's just been that for 90 minutes, 95 minutes. And I suppose we try to put a positive spin on stuff and say they've got to grow up, the young players, and get used. But you won't. That will never happen again, I don't think. Like, maybe I'm being going a bit too far with that, but yeah, I've never seen anything like that. Never seen anything like it, and a shame really. What could have been a great day for both teams just turned into a complete just a tear up. And the real positive from that is no injuries, and the way we stood up to it. The way we stood up to it with real class, real personality and character. At one point we had a player with no shirt on, like he'd ripped his shirt off, but he had a smile on his face, got his new shirt on and carried on doing his job. So the class, the character, the courage and grit that I think we showed against that side of it, can be pretty proud of themselves as a young team. But yeah, wow, Rob, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that today. And I feel for the people that have come across to watch, and even the local fans like having to watch that today like that. Yeah, they deserve their money back, I think, or go and watch a local wrestling
I'm
team.
just glad I didn't have to commentate on that. Just doing a bit of camera work, just trying to keep my sort of cool.
Yeah, I'll move on from it in a sec, but there's nothing to commentate on. Like every time we try to play, someone gets whacked and there's no foul. So then there's a bit of carnage in that corner, and everyone wants to fight. And it's just like, which we didn't. We just stood up for ourselves and did it with a bit of class. But yeah, it would have been a tough one to commentate on. It was very hard to watch, very hard to coach. I imagine it was pretty impossible to play in. But I was being told today by some people that that's what we're going into this year. I don't think we will, to be honest. There might be versions of it, but it'll be much more controlled and professional. I'm confident that will be the case, because that was not a game of football today.
What do you say to the lads when you go in there afterwards?
Well, they've stood up to, we had an extreme version of what we're going into with Guiseley, with the size of them last week and the long throws, and we stood up against that, and there's a clean sheet. And then we've had that today, which was, I don't know what you describe it, but just a complete tear up. There were bodies everywhere. It was like the Battle of the Somme at one point, looking around, and just, I suppose, well done for not conceding, because the ball came under your crossbar loads. We had an 18-year-old goalkeeper in goal today who, under all that stress and duress, came and clutched two balls at the end that just looked outstanding above some big lads. So those moments are important for you as a young group. You come together, but I don't think anybody involved today wants to go through that again. Really, just didn't feel safe at times.
It's almost one to draw a line under and regroup, ready for Tuesday night.
Yeah, like putting that aside now, because we have to, the stuff we've had to go through today. Like we had some brilliant opportunity to score, because with the type of personnel we've got, the way we line up, the way that our wide players play, we will get loads of counter attacks. And when our style is executed really well, we'll get good numbers on their line. On their back line, we'll probably be overloaded. So we could have passed the ball in the goal today. So I'm a little bit disappointed we've just not had that extra touch or extra bit of quality, extra pass to finish. And we've had 2 or 3 really good chances at the end to just pass it home, and just missing that last little bit, which the football side of it is the bit I'll be demanding of going into the next couple of weeks. But yeah, not much else to really talk about. We kept playing, we kept trying to do our stuff, which is fair play because they were a really aggressive high press. And I think Jack Gibson today has had probably the best performance I've seen from him. I thought he was outstanding as a number 9 who just relieved a bit of pressure. So when they were man for man, when we were playing out, he could just go into Jack's chest or head, and I thought he was brilliant with his hold-up play today. And fair play to him, he seems to have gained a bit of confidence, puffed his chest out, and he looked like a man. He's 19 himself, Jack, like he's a young lad. But fair play, his performance was way above the level I thought today.
When you go through the side and look at the average age, I think we are at 23, 24, if that, and it's just testament of the sort of group that they managed to hold in there and give you what you're looking for.
Yeah, I've said it in previous interviews, they're very, very impressive young men. Like, that was part of our recruitment. We wanted lads that were a certain type, with a certain type of personality, certain ambition, and that average age is bumped up by a 39-year-old midfielder, so it is really young. But they're really impressive. They've got more to them than just talent on the football pitch. Some really smart lads, some bright lads, some funny lads with good character, and they did stand up to it today. And it's another question mark, isn't it, that I think people will see a young team and a young manager and playing a certain way perhaps, and perhaps turn their nose up at it, or think they can get after people. That's fine, and we'll have to deal with that. And they're well within their rights to do that, but we've showed some real grit in the last 180 minutes. Fair play to this young group. I think some questions have been answered, probably questions that I had of the players as well, and maybe even themselves, looking around the changing room. And we're not the biggest, we're not the oldest, and all the rest of it, but stood up to some tough stuff today. Came through it unscathed, with a few chances to win.
What we lose in experience, we make up for in heart.
100%, and energy and athleticism. Like we looked so athletic today. Whenever there was any pattern to the game, which there was limited amounts, we just looked so athletic. We've not got like lightning pace in loads of areas, but we've just got runners everywhere, energy, stamina and drive. And those moments where it did drop down from the chaos and we've got a bit of clean ball, you just saw how we get to stuff first. We get away from people, we're running behind. And look, I'm sure when I watch the game back there'll be more good bits than I remember, but probably 15 minutes into the game, my genuinely only thought of today was getting through without anyone getting hurt, which is a shame. But we did, so that is probably the plus.
But 14 days out from the season starting, certainly in exciting shape, and looking forward to the season.
I think so, yeah. We've got a game on Tuesday where we'll learn stuff, top minutes up with lads who didn't start today. We've got 3 training sessions and then a really tough friendly in the middle of those, so we've got a real chance to just get everything, get the final bit sorted and just sharpen the tools a little bit. But we're in a great place from where we were when we started 8 weeks ago, whatever it was, and the recruitment started, probably a bit longer. But from where we started to where we are now, I think everybody involved can be pretty pleased with where we are. But we won't settle. We'll crank the treadmill up another mile an hour on Tuesday night and see who can stay on there and don't fall off the back. And we're in a good place, Rob, and I think people are enjoying the football. Maybe not today, but they've enjoyed it on the whole.